The Bears are who we thought they were. What did we learn from last night's game? One of the biggest things I learned is that our fan base and a lot of the media were too busy drinking Kool-Aid to understand what is actually going on in this rebuild. I'm a huge fan of Tyson Bagent and have been rooting for him every step of the way, but for some reason people wanted to use Bagent's story as an opportunity to tear down Justin Fields, our starting quarterback. Because like I've said all along, Justin is the starter. There's no question there. There is no controversy as much as people want there to be. It's just not there. Tyson Bagent is an incredible story. The first Division II quarterback to start a game in the NFL in more than 30 years. But too often, a portion of our fan base and a large majority of the media have used it as an opportunity to tear down our starting quarterback. I've seen a ton of hypocrisy and double standards when it comes to our quarterback situation. Will these fans and media guys walk back their takes now? Probably not. So what did we actually learn last night? Well, some people learned a lot. It's possible that Matt Eberflus's defense just doesn't work in the NFL anymore, and that seems to be a problem. I'm not throwing in the towel on the defense yet, but what I saw last night looked pathetic. Luke Getsy also looks out of his depth, going for it on fourth down from our own 30-yard line and calling a run play with 3 receivers on the field just seemed pathetic. Put that on top of his other mountain of mistakes, and I'm just glad we got to see how this offense really works. Even Chris Collinsworth made some comments last night like that on the broadcast. But the biggest thing I learned is a lot of what I've been saying all along. This team still has a ways to go, but they are headed in the right direction. This defensive line clearly needs more talent though, and we have to continue adding to the offensive line and the receiver room as well. Quarterback is far from our biggest need. We need pass rushers. Last night it was clear that Eberflus's plan to pressure QBs is simply not working with the guys on this roster. I find it funny that a lot of my detractors want to say that I'm a homer and not realistic because I point out players' positives and the bright side of things. However, you're going to be hard-pressed to find me saying anything outlandish and crazy. However, you're going to be pretty hard-pressed to find me saying anything outlandish or crazy like some of the things these other guys out there are saying. I always keep it real. I never predicted Fields would be an MVP this year or that we'd even make the playoffs. I am very optimistic about this team's future because of the draft capital we have, the flexibility, and cap space going forward, paired with the guy at the top, Ryan Poles. But I'm also realistic that this is a rebuild, and I'm realistic that to me, Justin Fields is by far the best option at quarterback this year and beyond. I haven't seen enough to give up on the guy yet or try to throw him under the bus. It's not blind optimism or being a fanboy. It's what I've seen and gathered from studying thousands of hours of tape. Right now, Justin Fields is not the issue to me. I'm not making excuses for him. That's not what I do when I break down the tape and I tell you guys what I see. I'm telling you all the things I see that go wrong and that we simply don't have a situation where a quarterback is going to come in and have success. Today, my biggest questions are about Luke Getsy and this entire coaching staff. I gave them the benefit of the doubt last year, and I have seen some positive things on tape and in the film room, but so far both Luke Getsy and Matt Eberflus are leaving a lot to be desired, and I don't know how much confidence I have in them going forward. Last week was really positive. To see them come out and respond that way and fight hard and battle for that win, it was great, and it gave me some confidence that maybe these guys really do believe in our coaches, but then we get blown out last night. So again, we're kind of at a crossroads. Will we get Justin Fields and Braxton Jones back this weekend? How will we respond against the top 3 defense in the NFL? There's so much going into this week. It's going to be an interesting week at Halas Hall for sure. We go from facing the 31st ranked defense in the NFL to the number 3 ranked defense this weekend in the New Orleans Saints. Our offense was pitiful against that 31st ranked Chargers defense, and we couldn't slow down Justin Herbert in a respectable offense either. The rest of this season may quickly become about evaluating this coaching staff just as much as it is about evaluating our quarterback position and the rest of this roster. I may have given up on Velus Jones Jr. though. He just seems like the stage is too big for him at times. The lights are just too bright. He has the skill and the potential to be a home run threat and a game changer on offense, but if you can't hold on to the ball in the NFL or catch the ball when you're wide open, you simply will not stick around. And Velus Jones is having that issue follow him now deep into his second season in the NFL. I am optimistic, though, about the health of this team going forward. We've dealt with a ton of injuries this year, but I'm optimistic that Justin Fields and Braxton Jones could return to the lineup this weekend. Eddie Jackson's health is still in question. Terrell Smith is out with mono, and I'm really hoping that Jaquan Brisker doesn't also have mono. We need him back in the lineup ASAP. And then Braxton Jones and Nate Davis, I really want them to come back and let our whole offensive line get some games together so they can actually gel. We've had zero luck with our health on the offensive line or on the roster overall. But right now we are a 2-6 football team, so I have no idea what these coaches are going to do going forward. Our hopes of playing meaningful football and contending for a playoff spot are all but over. But the best course for this franchise is for Justin Fields and this offense to get hot down the stretch and build momentum for next season. Pass rush is by far our biggest issue, but adding another top-flight wide receiver wouldn't hurt either. There's a lot to love overall about the direction that this franchise is going. We haven't had this with recent GMs. The flexibility, all of the cap space, multiple first-round picks, multiple day 2 picks going forward, and a very young roster. And on top of that, it's why I like Justin Fields and his potential so much. We're still developing him as a quarterback, and now we can develop Tyson Bagent along with him as our number 2. And we can finally put a respectable offense out onto the field. I'm not giving up on that guy. I don't think you guys should either. To me right now, the biggest question remains with these coaches. I don't know if we have the right coaches for the job yet, but Ryan Poles will evaluate that going forward for the rest of the season. And if he doesn't deem these guys the right guys, we'll have new coaches next year. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Remember to hit that like button for me. And until next time, bear down.